Luna, are you joining us? You joining us for a read aloud today? Yeah. No, you're not. Why not, Luna? Why not? You're not caught up yet on the book? Okay. Well, good thing I have my other friends here who are caught up. Tyler and Dave and Kitty Puppy Bunny. Luna just there relaxing. She'll listen from afar. Okay, chapter 22. A giant ear. Her father was standing on the top step in the front of the open door. He was wearing a dark suit and a tie and a hat with a brim, even though it was Saturday and summertime. Flora's father was an accountant at the firm Flinton, Flossin, and Frick. Flora wasn't sure, but she thought it was possible that her father was the world's loneliest man. He didn't even have Incandesto and Dolores to keep him company anymore. "Hi, Pop," she said. "Flora," said her father. He smiled at her and then sighed. I'm not ready yet." "Oh, I'm not ready yet." "Oh, that's okay," said her father. He sighed again. "I'll wait." He walked with Flora into the living room. He sat down on the couch. He took off his hat and balanced it on his knee. "Are you in the house now, George?" Flora's mother shouted from the kitchen. "Is Flora with you?" "I am inside," shouted Flora's father. "Flora is with me." The clack, clack, clack of the typewriter echoed through the house. Silverware rattled, and then there was silence. "What are you doing, George?" her mother shouted. "I am sitting on the couch, Phyllis. I am waiting for daughter." Flora's father moved his hat from his left knee to his right knee, then back to his left knee again. Ulysses shifted under Flora's pajamas. What are you two going to do today?" Flora's mother shouted. "I don't know, Phyllis." "You can hear perfectly well, George," said Flora's mother as she came in the living room. "You don't need to shout. Flora, what have you got under your pajama top?" "Nothing," said Flora. "Is it that squirrel?" "No," said Flora. "What squirrel?" said Flora's father. "Don't lie to me," said her mother. "Okay," said Flora. "It's a squirrel. I'm keeping him." "I knew it. I knew you were hiding something. Listen to me. That squirrel is diseased. You are engaging in dangerous behavior." Flora turned away. She had a superhero under her pajamas. She didn't have to listen to her mother, or anybody else for that matter. A new day was dawning, a girl with a superhero kind of day. "I'm going to change now," she said. "This will not work, Florabelle," said her mother. "That squirrel is not staying." "What squirrel?" said Flora's father again. Look who is interested. Oh, now she's acting like she's not interested. Flora went halfway up the stairs, and then she stopped. She stood on the landing. The criminal element suggested that anyone truly invested in fighting crime and besting criminals should learn to listen carefully. All words at all times, true or false, whispered or shouted, are clues to the working of the human heart. Listen, you must, if you care to understand anything at all, become a giant ear. This is what the criminal element suggested, and this is what Flora intended to do. She pulled Ulysses out from underneath her pajama top. "Sit on my shoulder," she whispered to him. Ulysses climbed up on her shoulder. "Listen," she said. He nodded. Flora felt brave and capable, standing there on the landing with her squirrel on her shoulder. "Do not hope," she whispered. "Instead, observe." She took a deep breath and let it out slowly. She held herself absolutely still. She became a giant ear. And what Flora the giant ear heard was astonishing. Chapter 23. Enter the Villain. "George," said Flora's mother, "we have a problem. Your daughter has become emotionally detached to a diseased squirrel." "How's that?" said Flora's father. "There's a squirrel," said her mother, speaking more slowly as if she were pointing at each word as she said it. "There's a squirrel," repeated her father. "The squirrel is not well." "There's an unwell squirrel." "There's a sack in the garage and a shovel." "Okay," said Flora's father. "There's a sack and a shovel in the garage." Oh, hello. Hello. At this point, there was a very long silence. "I need you to put the squirrel out of its misery," said Flora's mother. "How's that?" said her father. "For the love of Pete, George," shouted her mother. "Put the squirrel in the sack and then hit him over the head with the shovel." Flora's father gasped. Flora gasped too. She was surprised at herself. The ladies in her mother's romance novels put their heads on their bosoms and gasped. But Flora was not a gasper. She was a cynic. Flora's father said, "I don't understand." Flora's mother cleared her throat. She uttered the blood-soaked words again. She said them louder. She said them more slowly. "You put the squirrel in the sack, George. You hit the squirrel over the head with the shovel." She paused. "And then," she said, "you use the shovel to bury the squirrel." "Put the squirrel in a sack? Hit the squirrel over the head with a shovel?" said Flora's father in a squeaky, despairing voice. Oh, Phyllis. Oh, Phyllis, no." "Yes," said Flora's mother. "It's the humane thing to do." Flora understood that she had made a mistake in thinking that William Spiver was anybody important. Everything was coming into sharp and terrifying focus. The story was starting to make sense. Ulysses was a superhero, probably, and Phyllis Buckman was his arch nemesis, definitely. Wholly unanticipated occurrences. Okay, so I have my beautiful guest today to help me ask the question. So that's kind of crazy that Flora's mom wants to kill Ulysses. So what I want to know today is if any of you think that you understand why the mom would want the squirrel to die. Because if we had a pet squirrel in our houses, our parents might tell us to get rid of it too. Okay, that's actually sounds pretty normal. I don't think I could have ever brought a squirrel in to my parents' house. But, so do you understand the mom wanting the squirrel to be gone? Do you understand her? And why do you think she is... Luna, I'm trying to ask them a question. Why do you think the mom wants the squirrel to go away? Okay, then the second question, so you have two questions. The second question is, what do you think the squirrel is going to, or Flora is going to do with her squirrel? Okay, so with Ulysses. Do you think she's going to try to run away? Or what do you think she's going to try to do? Okay, so what's Flora going to do once she hears, as she hears this news? What's she going to do next?